Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Modern Maniacs. I'm AJ Soccer, and today's show is brought to you by MTGCardMarket.com. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go to their website. Yeah. So this is, I almost called it Flash Hulk, Footsteps Hulk. We did first see the Protean Hulk combo with Flash GP Columbus 2007, and that's a wonderful story in and of itself, but one that I will save for another time. If you are not familiar, the combo with the Hulk is to get a Hulk into play and have it die, which you use Footsteps of the Goryo, which is a randomization spell that makes you sacrifice it, or Through the Breach, which is a sneak attack effect that makes you sacrifice it. Once you sacrifice it, you search up a Viscera Seer, formerly Carrion Feeder, and Revelark, formerly Karmic Guide. Oh, I'm sorry, you find Body Double first. Body Double copies the Hulk, and then you sacrifice it to the Viscera Seer. The second copy finds Fanatic, which does 1 damage to them, and Revelark. You sacrifice the Revelark to the Viscera Seer, get back Body Double on Revelark, and the Mog Fanatic to do another damage. And that is the loop. Infinite damage. Pretty strong. Does take a little bit of setup, but they just die. So the payoff is pretty high. This is a deck that a couple people have tried. I saw Jerry do a video for Star City with a pretty weird build that I didn't like. And it also top forward an RPTQ recently, although that was also a slightly different build. Instead of the Through the Breaches, that player had Makeshift Mannequin, which is a pretty cool card that works pretty well, but I think I like Through the Breach better. We'll see how it goes. The other big change in my list, as compared to some of the lists you might see out there, is the Teleria West package. Now, I'm playing 20 lands and 4 Simian Spirit Guides for the extra oomph, the extra surprise speed, but that is a lot of mana sources until you realize the Teleria Wests want to be transmuted some non-0% of the time, which kind of cuts into your mana source count if you don't take that into consideration. So this is something that I've wanted to try for a while. Teleria West is a pretty powerful card, and being able to find a Hulk through Summoner's Pact is really, really strong. So most people don't play Summoner's Pact, or they'll just play like 1 or 2 in the board, but the 5th copy of Hulk, and then letting you basically Grim Tutor for a Hulk, is super, super strong. Pact of Negations, most builds play a bunch of these, but having the Teleria Wests to find them makes them extra good. It seems like a lot of the problems that these decks are having is not, not being able to go fast enough. The deck can definitely go very, very fast, but oftentimes turn 4 or 5 is fast enough if you are able to find your whole combo and have enough protection. So that's where those types of games are the ones where Teleria West really shines. Went over the packs. The Thoughtseizes act as protection, get rid of their disruption, as well as you can target yourself and use it as a discard outlet for the Hulk, which is one of the many reasons I prefer Thoughtseize over Inquisition in Modern, especially in decks like this. Faithless Looting is just card selection as well as discard outlets for the Hulk. Lightning Axe is a discard outlet that kills a thing, but it does require a target, which is not always a given, but pretty powerful effect. And Serum Visions to help find the combo. Izzet Charm is great because all 3 modes are very, very good, and it is very, very castable. Killing a creature is not always the most relevant, but sometimes you just want to kill a Goblin Guide to buy some time, or they'll have some sort of hate creature like Athalia or something that you want to kill, and it does that, as well as counter a non-target or non-creature spell for unless they pay 2, which is pretty good for fighting over your combo spell, as well as just, stopping them from casting something that would be pretty annoying for you to deal with. And then, of course, draw 2, discard 2, the Faithless Looting text, pretty powerful, especially at instant speed. I already went over these and these. The Murderous Cut is just a one-of, just another way to kill something. I'm splitting 1 axe, 1 cut, just because the deck doesn't have any Delve cards and no real way to use its graveyard outside of the Hulk. and it gets a pretty fat graveyard pretty quickly when you're churning through cantrips, especially Faithless Lootings. So being able to kill a thing for a mana is pretty nice. And then obviously the Hulks. Sideboard. Slaughter Pact, Explosives, and Buseju are all pretty good cards that are worth sideboarding anyway, but the fact that you can Teleria West for them when necessary makes them extra good over some, potential alternatives. Just some generically good sideboard cards. Pyroclasm, Wear Tear. You can actually cast Tear off of Gemstone Mine if you're really desperate, theoretically, Teleria West for Gemstone Mine to be able to kill an enchantment. But that's not totally necessary, but Wear being able to take out a Chalice for 1 is sometimes relevant. So that's why you play this thing. Pyroclasm, Echoing Truth, just for any type of hate card. Also breaks up other people's combos. And Spellskite for things that target. More counter magic, also very good. The 4th Pact of Negation and 3 Swan Songs, because once you combo, they're just dead. So giving them a bird doesn't really matter most of the time. So Swan Song is the counter of choice here. And Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. This is a card that I absolutely am in love with. I played at the Legacy GP, and I want to play with a bunch more in Modern. But for now, they are going to be relegated to the sideboard thanks to Lightning Bolts being everywhere in the format. I think Jace is really, really strong. It's just that it lines up really, really poorly against a lot of cards and a lot of matchups. But the ones that don't have bolts, or when they board out their cheap removal, and bring in a bunch of hate, so the games are going to go longer and you're going to need to find more cards and have more resiliency, then the Jaces are going to really shine, hopefully, theoretically. So that's the deck, and we will now start our league.